Hey, what's up, everybody? So today we're going to cover a bit of Act 3. I think we'll cover the outside maps to start and see how long it takes to explain those concepts, and then after that we'll continue with Act 3 either in the same video, in this video, or the next one. Alright, so we just killed Duriel. Now, once you kill Duriel, you make your way over here. Now, you got to talk to Tyrael. I already spoke to Tyrael. But what you want to do, when you talk to Tyrael, he opens up this portal for you. Now, what you can do, as you're walking towards Tyrael, you can actually open up your own town portal. So the town portal's already doing its animation. So while you're doing that, as you're running, you click that. So as you can see here, if I'm running, she runs really fast. Maybe I'll walk. She's really fast. So if you're running, you click that, it opens and she keeps moving. It's going to be a lot easier to do something like that with a slower character on a speed run when you only have stealth. You don't have all these super crazy GG items. Anyways, the reason why you want to do that is that way that opens, you don't have to wait for this to open. So you talk to Tyrael, your portal's right beside you, so I'll just do it. Let's just pretend I get it on time, but I probably won't. Okay, that's decent. Anyways, you talk to Tyrael while it's happening, click on your portal. You don't want to wait for the other one to open up, you have to wait for the animation. You save like half a second. Anyways, it's probably not worth it if you don't think you're fast enough to click on your tome. Anyways, once you do that, you come here, you talk to Jaren, come down here, make a town portal, and then you talk to Mashif. Now, why do we do that? Why do we do the whole town portal thing? Now, if you talk to Jaren, you have to walk all the way back to Mashif. Or you just go in the palace, drop town portal, you spawn right here, and then boom. It's literally, it's from here, you teleport here, and then this distance is much shorter than, this distance here. So that's why you do the town portal, talk to Mashif. Talk to Mashif,
You should be thankful.
you go to the next act. And then you're here. Now, if you need to buy potions, which is probably yes with a sorceress, you're going to need the next tier potions to teleport and use Nova. These two are here. Then you probably don't want to do this. You probably just want to go here, talk to Ormus, then you'll be on your way. Now, if you're any other class, like a druid or an assassin, a class that doesn't need a second tier or the third tier potions, what you can do, talk to Mashif, sail west, save and quit, go back to normal, talk to Word, go west, and then you're on your way. Now, if you're comfortable with your execution, that's going to be faster than running, from the docks all the way here and here. And obviously, it's a lot easier. With the sorceress, it doesn't look like it's a big deal because she runs super insanely fast. But on a regular run, when you don't have all this crazy insane gear, you're running way slower. So doing that little execution thing will save a ton of time. Now, from the start of Act 3, you have you have a bunch of outside maps. You have the Spider Forest, you have the Great Marsh, and you have the Flayer Jungle. Now, the way this game is coded up, the Flayer Jungle can actually spawn beside. It can actually connect with the Spider Forest. I believe it's not supposed to do that, but the algorithms for generating the Act 3 maps are so wonky that you can actually indeed get the Flayer Jungle next to the Spider Forest. So your goal here in Spider Forest, actually all of outside, you want to go to the Spider Forest. You want to find Kalim's Eye in the Spider Cavern. And you want to go to Flayer Jungle, you want to find the Flayer Dungeon, you want to find Kalim's, I believe it's his heart, or his brain. I don't know, it's his heart or his brain, one of the organs. Anyways, so the top part about Act 3 is knowing where to go. Now, here's the big thing. Act 3 is actually, it's free. Getting through Act 3 is actually no big deal at all. All you gotta do is know what you're looking for, and it's really simple. And hey, guess what? There's no roads. There's a river. The river is the road. This river right here, it tells you everything. It tells you everything. And you know exactly what's around you. Maybe not exactly what's around you, but you have an idea of what's around you. You know that there might be a chance that something might be here. So let me just show you this. Like, as you can see, the river is all, like, you're always going with the river. There's always a river. All this stuff here, this all gives you tons of information. I see this right here. I know there's a bend. This right here, I know there might be a set of totem poles. Keep going. If I see a square or anything, I know there might be another set. Okay, so this right here, I know branches off this way. And there might be a set of totem poles here. Boom, branches off this way. And it continues this way. The river has so much information, and you can read it. By the end of this video, you should be able to read it. Let me just show you one map. Okay, so this map doesn't have what we normally refer to as a Great Marsh skip. Looks like we're definitely indeed going through the Great Marsh to get to the Flayer Jungle this time. Okay. Now let's just show these little side areas here. Alrighty. So, let's just get back to... Actually, this is probably faster. Just get back to the start. And we can start talking about it. Okay. So, when you start, you just want to follow the river until you find something like this right here. This, you one of these bends later on. This is useful. But anyways, so there's a couple tells. Any sort of bend, any sort of corner like this, there's a chance for an opening. Right here, there's a chance for an opening. There's a chance for an opening. Chance for an opening here. A bend right here. There's a chance for an opening right here. There's a chance for an opening right here, which doesn't happen too often. Usually it only happens when you can cross straight. There's no gap here. When you're switching into new zones, this is possible. Usually I only see that in Flayer jungle. Anyways, there's this right here. There's a square in the river. This sort of square. This tells you that, okay, there's a chance for an opening here, and there's going to be a split this way and this way. And then at the end, whenever it reaches a wall, there's an opening on one side. Now, something like this, this square, or sorry, this rectangle. Now, if there's a bridge on both sides, I believe it's a 100% chance you're going to find an opening on this side or on this side. If it looks like this, where the river's sort of cut off, this one doesn't have to have an opening. In this case, it does have an opening. It doesn't have to have one. Now, these openings here, I call them, what is it? Branches. I call them branches because you branch off from the river. These branches here, one in the spider forest. One is always going to be nothing. One is going to be the arachnid layer with the waypoint, and one is always going to be the spider cavern. This is the one we want to get to. The order that they appear in is totally random. So this one could be over here. This one can actually be up here, and this one can actually be over here. Like you can randomize that order. You don't actually know. There's a bit of strategy involved with what shows up. You can start making decisions. You do your leapfrogging with your town portals. Hang on. Okay, let's just leave that guy alone. So yeah, all you want to do is you want to find the branch that takes you to the spider cavern. Once you find it, you're good to go. Typically, you never want to leave the spider cavern. You want to find it because you don't know if this is going to take you to Flayer jungle or the Great Marsh. If you find this right here, waypoint, that's always good because that gives you options. If you're up here, and for example, the Great Marsh, this is the Great Marsh. This is the waypoint. That tells you, oh, I can continue. I can keep going. And then if I ever need to get back to the Great Marsh, if there's no skip directly into the Flayer jungle, I can dive. I can go all the way here, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, hey, spider cavern. Okay, let's go. You get in here. You get your organ. And now you can make a town portal, you spawn here, and then you have a direct route straight to the Great Marsh. Waypoints can be useful, especially if it lines up like that. That's very optimal right there. So, let's go through the Great Marsh. Great Marsh is literally the exact same thing, except you don't care about anything in the Great Marsh. One thing to note, these branches, based on where they're positioned, there's a chance for an opening somewhere else. You can only have one opening per branch, so here's the opening, here's the additional opening. So there can be two sides, so 1 and 2, like one opening. When I say one opening, when you're in here, you have one additional opening. So anything like this, whoa, the screen flash. Anything like this, with this bend, there's a chance for an opening here, here, and then if there's a bend up top, there's a chance for an opening here. So this can't connect. It can't go this way. This is not. Oh, I'm so sorry that I casted this thing. I'm gonna save him quick. I'm sorry I casted that. I'm sorry. That is an eyesore. Okay. Anytime you have one of these openings, you cannot go this way. That's not a thing. Anytime this sort of layout, you cannot go this way. This one here, this can be this and this. I believe very rarely, this will open up, and then this would not be here. It would be some sort of river that would connect. I don't recall seeing that where, like, on this corner you can go this way and then this way. It might happen. If it does, it will not connect directly into another one like this. It'll be a river. Probably. I don't know. I haven't seen enough to confirm it. Anyways, usually if it's this corner here, it's this and this. Now this one here up top, this one can actually be this, and then this can actually open up sometimes. This can actually be the Flayer jungle. This right here opens up as the Flayer jungle. So it's important to check these for these additional openings, because if this was an opening Flayer jungle, you've now avoided the whole going through the Great Marsh, getting over to the Flayer jungle. You have a direct skip. This is a huge component to going really fast, getting that opening into Flayer jungle, or just having a river that goes into Flayer jungle. Anyways, that's it. Let's go to the Great Marsh. But as long as you can take down those key components, reading the river, seeing these rectangles, seeing these curves, knowing, like, you have to anticipate the chance that, there might be an opening here. because of the river. If you can get that down, if you can read this map and you know, okay, this is gonna branch this way, you're good to go. You are good to go. It's super simple. Here's the thing I was talking about, where sometimes like when you go straight, this is a bend right here, it'll open up.
Impossible.
As you see here, it's the same sort of layout here. Typically, I only see it if there's an opening here, and typically you only see an opening if you're entering into a new zone.
Impossible.
Entering into a new zone. There it is.
Impossible.
And then there's that right there. Okay, so let's just continue. Now, in order to find the Flayer jungle from the Great Marsh, all you gotta do is follow the river. All you gotta do is follow the river until you see a fork or a branch, or if it's a one-way, it's just gonna take you there. You just keep following the river, it will take you there.
I can't.
So, like, I already know when I uncover this, like, I know, sort of like the catacombs, you see a little bit of detail, and you know what it is. So I see a little bit of detail here, I know what it is. This right here, it's another rectangle. Sometimes you might mess up. Sometimes, you know, you might have a grasp on you. You make a tell, and then your tell is wrong. Like this right here, for example, I feel like that's a curve. But you know what? That might actually indeed go like that. Flayer jungle, there it is. That was a one-way. Just had a one-way. Sometimes you get a fork, and it continues to the Grey Marsh, and then it's a dead end, and then you have to backtrack, find the other way, and then it takes you to the Flayer jungle. Anyways, it's literally is that simple. You follow the river. Flayer jungle, same thing. So here's a square with two bridges. I know there's gonna be totem poles right here. Here's one of our branches. We'll look at the branches later. Keep following the river. Okay, here's a curve, so I know that's gonna be up there. Or I know there's a chance there's gonna be that up there.
I can't.
Keep following here. So here's another curve, so I know there's a chance for something down here to connect. This could connect. And there could be something right here. And there's nothing this time.
I can't.
Okay, so here is one that's open, so there's a chance for one to be on either side, but you never have to have one. Just because this river's open, there's a chance, but it never actually has to have a branch. Another curve, there's a chance for something here. Another curve, chance for something here. Now, typically, you're only going to see 3 branches per zone. So what do we see so far? We saw 1, 2, and 3. If there's more than one opening, that means there's something funny going on. There's something like a branch that takes you directly into like the Great Marsh, or takes you directly into the Spider Forest. Those are the exceptions. When there's a weird branch that like it's literally totem poles into totem poles. That's the only exception. So like if you see 1, 2, and 3, chances are you're not going to see any more totem poles. If you see one here, that means it's going to connect. These two right here connect. In that case, you're allowed to see 4 branches if they connect. But the actual area itself, the side area, you're only going to see 3 side areas. And then if you see gold on the ground, if you see a bit of gold on the ground, there's probably more down here. If you see gold on the ground, you know you're next to your tree, dude. This is going to be your lower cross. We'll talk about lower cross later. Let's go through these side zones. Actually, before we go through the side zones, let's just look at the map. Okay, so we enter the Great Marsh. I think it was right around, or the Flayer jungle right around here. So here's a square, you know, there's a side thing. Here's a curve, you know, there's a side thing. Curve here, potential openings. Rectangle with an opening, so there's potential here, never guaranteed. Curve here, potential opening. This one, double bridges, there's guaranteed an opening on one of these sides. And then that's the exit. One thing to note, if there's openings on one side, so for example, this rectangle here, excuse me, this rectangle here, guaranteed opening. So in this case, it's on this side, not this side. What that means, if you see another guaranteed opening, or even if this one had spawned with an opening, a branch towards one of those side things, it's gonna be on the same side. This one here, it's gonna be on the same side. If it's not, chances are that opening is gonna take you to the Spider Forest, the Great Marsh. That's the only time you'll have an opening on the other side. So you're forced, like this one here, that means if you see any more of these, it's going to be on this side. Let's go see what this is. Now for the Flayer jungle, the openings are going to be, one is going to be the Flayer dungeon with the Gidbin. Now the Gidbin, it spawns in random dudes. You should already know this just by playing casually. It's going to spawn in dudes, and then there's going to be an elite that spawns in. And then boom, he gives you the Gidbin, you get the Gidbin, you give to Ormus. One thing to note, if you go too far away from this, if you activate, you go too far away, Or if you activate this and you go to town, you don't let this guy spawn in, he won't spawn. He will never spawn. He is gone forever until you save and quit.
Impossible.
I've even had times where I've gone too far away or went to town and he spawned in and I've come back and he doesn't drop the Gidman. He actually no longer drops the Gidman.
I can't.
Anyways, typically if you find this place, you can either activate the Gidman, get the Gidman,
Impossible.
and then do your town portal, or you just do town portal right away. So normally what you want to do from here, you want to make a town portal. If you're low on resources, which typically you are, in Act 3 you're low on resources, you go to town, talk to Ormus, get your potions, come back here, drop this town portal, and then this is chained down. You're not allowed to use town portals. If you do, you're not going to leapfrog. This whole thing, we're doing it for leapfrog. So from here, typically what you want to do, if you find it right away, you want to make your way all the way to Lower Cross. If you find this last, well then that means you already have the waypoint. So I mean, you could backtrack, you could continue your way. If this is the first one, you can, like, let's say that was all the way down here and you're making a way. Let's say this right here had an opening and it was a waypoint. Well, you could go in here, grab the waypoint, and then backtrack, leapfrog, go to the dungeon, and then you would spawn back here and then you continue. It's probably confusing to imagine, so I'll just show it to you. But anyways, so in this sort of case where it's the last one, you have a town portal set up, you want to make your way to Lower Cross. You want to find a waypoint either here or here. I would recommend, if you're not Nightmare Hell, I would just teleport straight. I would just find the exit to the Cross Bazaar, because the waypoint in Cross Bazaar is much more useful. There's the sewers here. There's Battlemate Serena, the Ruined Temple. The waypoint's going to be more useful here. You can go multiple directions with using this waypoint. So the waypoint is literally just going to be somewhere random on the map. The way I like to think of it, actually we'll go through this after, but anyways, it's like a giant grid. You just want to find the waypoint, and then you find it. It's somewhere in, like, if you slice this up into a grid, it's just one of these tiles here. So here it is. Anyways, so now we have this waypoint. You leapfrog, and then you can head over. You can get the Gidman if you didn't, or if you already did, you dive in the Flayer dungeon. You do the Flayer dungeon. That's it. And then once you get the organ, you can now leapfrog back over to Cross Bazaar, because you have this already, and then you can do your Battlemate Serena. You can go to the sewers, whatever it is you want to do. Anyways, I'll talk about the Flayer dungeon. I'll talk about Spider Cavern. I'll talk about all that later or in another video. Right now, all we care about is the outside maps. So that's basically it, though. That's basically it for the outside maps. I just want to show you a couple more instances. Maybe show you the Flayer jungle directly. Show you the Great Marsh skip. So let me reset this. I also just want to show it to you if I were to just run it on my own, without actually explaining it, just to show you how, like, really simple it is, or how simple it can be. Sometimes, you know, you have to make a guess, either left or right, because there's a fork and you don't know, and that forces you to backtrack. So anyways, I'm just going to follow the river. Let's pretend I don't have any organs. So this one here, this is a cutoff, so I have to go the other way. Here's a opening. Check it out for the Spider Cavern. Okay, nothing here. Alright, no opening. Let's keep going.
Impossible.
Okay. What do we have here?
I can't.
And this right here I know is nothing. I can recognize that. That's nothing. Another opening here.
Impossible.
There we go. It's either going to be Arachnid Lair or Spider Cavern. It's Arachnid Lair, so just grab the waypoint in case it's useful for anything.
I can't.
Head on our way. Okay, another thing that's going to turn into nothing. That's absolutely nothing. Okay, now we're at a dead end. We're at a dead... No, you know what? That is not... Oh, you know what? I think I misread that. I think I actually misread that. Okay.
Impossible.
Well, there you have it. I misread it. But either way, here's the next opening. You can check for a skip here. No skip. And we have an opening here. So something cool is happening here. This might actually be a Great Marsh or Flayer jungle. Anyways, so from here you want to dive in the Spider Cavern. You want to make your way, get the organ, blah blah blah. Sure, we can go through this after. Get your organ, and from there, if you have a waypoint, you know, you can backtrack. But in this particular case, we have an opening here.
Impossible. I can't.
Grey Marsh. Okay, so we're stuck in the Grey Marsh. Now from here, if I made this mistake on the on an actual run, wow, I can't believe I said I recognize this and it turns out to be something. Anyways, if you make this mistake on the actual run, you can look at this. This takes you this way. This one also takes you this way. So it's most likely going to lead you both into the Grey Marsh. So this might actually still be a time save. Like this, knowing that the Grey Marsh is here, this might actually work out in your favor. The downside of doing something like this, where you're cutting directly in, the other side might actually, going right from the start, might actually reveal something that makes you not want to come up here, because you might find the Flayer jungle elsewhere.
Impossible.
So right here, I'm hoping that there's going to be a fork that goes both ways, or something along those lines. So now we're doing a bit of backtracking. And there it is. There's a Flayer jungle. So there's an example of an opening that actually works out in your favor. Now let's just see where I went wrong here. Let's see where I went wrong here. Nope, that's the one that's not supposed to be a thing. This is one that's a thing. This one I actually misread. Whenever you see the two squares like this is one square right here, this is one square right here, you're good to go. That will be an opening. This square here, typically I don't want to use that if I see something like this, because you'll see it right here. That's what I thought we were looking at. This right here, that right there. Okay, but this one has a little nudge, the little wedge there. That wedge means there's going to be an opening. So that was my bad. That was me misreading the map. I misread it. My bad. My bad. Okay, here we go. Grey Marsh. So it takes you directly in the Grey Marsh. Let's just see the distance that we saved just by taking the side here. That's the... Okay, so this is where the Flayer jungle is. And where we are is over here. Right here. I don't know. I can't. Anyways. Let's just walk it. Okay. Well, there you have it. We just teleported that distance. It took a while. Let's see. That's a long walk. That's a very long walk. Whereas this one here, Spider Cavern into this, that's a much better walk. That's much better than backtracking, going all the way around, coming up, and then Flayer jungle. So, at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is always check for openings. Always check for an opening. Okay. So Flayer jungle. Let's continue. I was supposed to do this without stopping and explaining anything. Well, here we go. Opening. Okay, check for a waypoint. There's no waypoint. Okay. So this is actually going to change my decision making. What I'm going to do is my next totem pole, I'm going to drop a town portal. What this tells me is if that is the if that's the waypoint, it's useless. If it's the Gidbin, well, we're going to leapfrog right here, right now. Turns out this is the Gidbin, so all we got to do is make a town portal here. We forget about that one. That's just a waypoint, which we don't need anymore, because now we simply just go to lower cross and we're gonna leapfrog. Okay, and I came across a waypoint, so that's fine. I can take that. And then we go. And then boom. Gidbin, kill the dude. Flayer dungeon, get the thing. Now, let's say the order of these two were reversed. Let's say this here was the Gidbin, and this here was actually the waypoint. What you do is this waypoint's still active. You come here, you see this waypoint, you literally do your leapfrog right here. You take the waypoint, and you use the waypoint to get back to town portal into here. And then once you go in the dungeon, and you get the thing, get the organ, you simply go back to town. And then you use your teleport. You use your town portal to get to your next leapfrog. But yeah, that's basically it. We'll do one more. Hopefully I don't mess up this time. I misread that map. I'm sorry I misread that map. I'm sorry. It happens. It happens. Alrighty, here we go. Spider Forest. Let's see if we can get one with a skip just to show you guys. Okay, totem pole. Check it out.
Impossible.
Alright, looks like Spider Cavern. So I dive in, I would get the organ, and then I'd leave, and I'd continue along my way.
I can't.
Okay, there's a turn here. I actually should be taking the inside turn.
Impossible.
Okay, so I still don't know if the openings are going to be on this side or that side, but you want to take the inside turn because it's gonna be faster. But honestly, it doesn't matter if you're a teleporting character, if you are a teleporting character, or if you're not a teleporting character, you're gonna have to you're gonna have to walk around these bridges. Okay, so now I know the openings are on this side. Just check for a skip. Okay, we got a little skip here. Flare jungle, boom. Very important. That's why it's very important to go in these things and check, because there's a chance you can save a lot of time. This one here is probably going to connect though. Yeah, it just connects.
Impossible.
But very important. Always check, because this right here,
I can't.
this could be something wonky where this is actually cut off. This takes you to the Great Marsh, and then always check.
Impossible.
I mean, obviously, if there's nothing there, it's a time waste. If there's something there, that's a huge time save.
I can't.
You know what? I missed that just from explaining, and I also missed that one too because I was explaining. Sorry, guys, I'm explaining stuff too much. So obviously, once you enter in the Flayer jungle, you want to do a check. There's Gibbon. Activate the Gibbon. Kill the dude. And then from here, what you can do, if this turned out to be the Arachnid layer, you can use this as your loophole, not your loophole, your leapfrog. So you do this. You kill the dude. Get the Gibbon. Dive in the Flayer dungeon. Get the organ. And then you would teleport back here, and then you just continue along your way, and then you just go straight all the way to the lower Karast. Okay, we're gonna do one more. I'm gonna try not to explain anything because I lost my train of thought there. Okay, lower Karast, and then you just continue with the rest of the Act 3. Okay, one more. I'll try not to explain anything. I'll just work on my own. You guys can just watch me work. Okay. Cross docks. But that one there, that was a direct connection to the Flayer jungle, which means we got really lucky. The Great Marsh was elsewhere. We didn't even spot it because we ended up just going directly to the Flayer jungle. This curve here is too close to the entrance. It's not going to. It can't have an opening. If it's too close to the entrance, there won't be an opening there. There won't be a branch. Okay. Another opening. Okay, Spider Cavern, great. Dive in, get your organs, come out. Now your goal is to look for Flayer jungle. Okay, we got a bridge. Alright. Looks like a dead end here. Alright. So this is going to be a Great Marsh if this actually
Impossible.
just continues this way and there's nothing else. Okay, Great Marsh. So I want to get through this place. You can check here. I have a feeling this is going to wrap around and come this way, so there's not going to be any sort of branch, any sort of lucrative action I can take here. Advantageous action. Yeah, it doesn't connect anywhere. That's nothing. And obviously you play your hunches. If you have a hunch, you play your hunch.
I can't.
Okay, we have nothing here, so it's probably going to be right there. Flayer jungle. Just want to see if that connects. It's too far to connect.
Impossible.
That will not connect. Okay, no waypoint, so we do the whole thing where we do the teleport Town portal leapfrog. Can't be anything here. If this is closed, this is nothing. If the river's closed and there's no bridge on one side, that's a dead end. There's nothing there.
I can't.
Okay. So we saw that opening on one side, so that means there's an opening over here. Okay, Gidbin. And
Impossible.
Town portal. Actually, no, I think the opening was on a corner, wasn't it? I believe it was on a corner. If it's on a corner, then you're not guaranteed anything. Okay, here we go. There's the last branch over there. That's the waypoint. Now, obviously, if you're low on resources, if you don't think you have enough resources to actually make the lower Karast, you would go in there. You would get the waypoints in the Flayer jungle, and then you would do your leapfrog there. If you have enough resources, if you filled up your cube with potions and you have exactly what you need, or more than you need, you wanna push it to Cross Bazaar. From here, even if you have enough resources, once you see Battlemates Arena, you want to dive in here to get the book,
I can't.
and then you'd be on your way. And obviously, your town portal is still chained down to the Flayer jungle, so like there's no, once you go in there, you are committed. There's no leaving unless you want to waste a ton of time. So this tile's already uncovered. Let's see. Just don't work your tiles, just zigzag up and down as pattern. Up and down, up and down. This is fast as teleport, but I'm just gonna walk it this time. Okay. There you go. And then boom. Gidbin. Dungeon. Get your organ. Continue from Cross Bazaar. You already got the book, so you just literally dive right in the sewers. Dive in the sewers, and then you do your stuff, and then you go to Trav. Alright, well, that's it for outside. Bit shaky, I messed up a couple times, but hey, it happens. It happens. You make one call based on information, you don't actually get the full picture. You mess up. But yeah, that's it. You read the river. The river tells you which way to go. Up, down, left, right. This way, that way. Here's another branch. That's it. That's it, people. That's it. Do your runs. Figure it out. The river is the road. That's the key. The river is the road. You see a rectangle. If there is an opening on one side and a bridge on another, there's a chance for a branch. If the river is closed and there's a bridge, this is not the right. But if the river is closed on one side, there's a bridge on the other side. That is always guaranteed. There's gonna be no openings. This one here is open and closed. This one here, there's a chance. And if there's a bridge on both sides, I don't think we got a bridge on both sides. But if there's a bridge on both sides, that is going to be a guaranteed opening. Anytime there's a curve like this, if it's not close to town, there is a chance to be an opening here, opening here, opening here. Any curve up top, bending around this way. Wait, do we have one? Oh, we don't have one in this game. We don't have the... Oh, shucks. Anytime there's a curve going like this and it extends this way, there's the chance to go up here. Anytime you're doing one of these L shapes in the river, there's a chance over here. There's a chance over here provided there's no trees. I already covered it in the video, so I'm not too worried about just drawing it on the map. Okay, so you guys should have enough tools for the river outside. That's going to be it for now. There's like 35 minutes of outside map theory. Next video, we'll go through Lower Karast Bazaar, possibly the sewers, possibly Trav, and then maybe the dungeons. Alrighty, I'll see you all later. Take care, everybody. Good luck. Take care.